Hi, I'm standing here at a memorial to Eli Cohen. You might have heard of him. That's a very famous Israeli spy. And in the backdrop you see the Syrian intelligence headquarters of the time period before Israel took the Golan in *67. Now, Eli Cohen joined the Mossad in 1961. And his background is he was a Syrian, Israeli, or a Jewish person from Syrian descent. And he and his family moved to Egypt. And then when things became unstable there, the Jews had to flee, came back to Israel. And in '61, he started his work with the Mossad. At that point, he moved to Argentina, where he was trained, and he started getting very good relationships up in the Syrian military infrastructure, to the point where he became the chief advisor to the Minister of Defense. So by the time he started working in Syria itself, he was able to pass on very, very important information. One of the interesting stories is that he advised the Syrian army bases here in the Golan to plant some eucalyptus trees, because it was hot and it provided shade, and he said that's what your soldiers need. But later on he was able to communicate to the Israeli side that wherever you see clusters of eucalyptus trees, that's where there's a Syrian base, and that's where you can bomb. The way that he was caught is very interesting. He used to radio information back and forth. And he was positioned in a place where there was a lot of transmission happening. But there was a point in which the Syrian military started feeling there's a mole, there's somebody leaking information. They were just things that were not computing to them. So at some point they gave an instruction on the inside that all transmission should be halted. And that message never reached him. So here he was, happily transmitting radio information, and from what they could perceive, that was the only transmission going out from his building, and they went in and caught him red-handed. And that's how he was brought to justice, and he was hanged in 1965 in Damascus, and his body has never been returned. That's the story of Eli Cohen.